Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Indy and you're watching Us Told by Indy. And in today's video, we are going to do a paycheck breakdown. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. But first things first, the candle of today's video is Radiant Soul by Eternal Balance Candle Company based out of Denver, Colorado. This smells so good and it has notes of espresso and vanilla oak in it and it's fire. So check out Radiant Soul by Eternal Balance. Okay, so let's get into today's paycheck breakdown. Okay, I'm gonna move my calculator right over here and then we're going to zoom in and we're gonna focus in on our income. So I'll tell y'all what I have coming in this week and then we will get into the bills. Alrighty, so let's zoom in a little bit so y'all can see that better and I'll bring it down here. For this paycheck, I don't have any rollover from last time. I had about $300 some odd, but I ended up having to spend that on some additional bills that had come up that I did not account for. Shame on me, but thank God I had the money for it. So I don't have rollover this time around. I just have my upcoming paychecks, which will come into my account today, which is Friday, the 16th, and then also I have another check coming in on that Tuesday after President's Day. So in total, I'm working with $1,312.38 for this paycheck. So I will circle that here in our income total, and then we'll kind of walk through what's happening for me this week. So when it comes to the fixed expenses, and I don't know why I messed this up, y'all, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. My cell phone's coming out of the account, which is $256.79. My Netflix is coming out and it's $7.57. I have the version with commercials, which is why it's so cheap for me. And then my Canva account for $12.99 is coming out. So altogether in this category of fixed expenses, I will have $277.35 that is coming out. So we'll circle that. Moving over to variable expenses for this time around, I really only have to worry about gas and groceries. I'm gonna budget $25 for this paycheck and then groceries $25 only because I'm going out of town. I know that looks super, super low, but I'm going out of town soon for a work trip. So I don't buy a lot of groceries before I go out of town because I don't want the food to perish. I try my best to buy perishable foods because I'm trying to eat clean. So there's no point in me doing this huge shopping spree on my Sundays like I normally do before a trip. So I'll just get a couple things to last me until I leave. And then I'm actually leaving like midweek. So I'm only gonna get things for like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's why that's why the amount is so low for me. Alrighty, so our number for this category is going to be $50 for variable expenses. Oh, and the same applies for gas too. I mean, I said what I said about groceries, but the same for me goes with gas. I mean, I try my best to fill up, which I did today, before I go on a trip. And then I go on, but I don't really fill the car with, with any more gas before I leave because it's not being used, right? All right, cool. So moving on over to subscriptions, which again, I messed up. That's on me, guys, when I was doing my off-camera work. Those should have been moved over there, but it's fine. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it in this category. It's fine. So no other subscriptions will come out of my account for this paycheck. So all in total of our expenses, again, I'm working with $1,312.38. And then my expenses from the categories of my fixed expenses, variable expenses, and subscriptions come to $327.35. So I will have remaining $985.03 to work with, which I'm going to put into my debt, my savings, and my sinking funds. So with that, let's turn over to the second part of this budget breakdown. Okay, so looking at debt. And my debt category, I really only have to worry about my student loan. So that's $419.11 that I'm gonna pay with this paycheck. And then that will leave me with a balance of $66,568.77. Whew, Lord Jesus. Looking at that number is really intimidating. I'm not even going to lie to you all, but at the same time, I am really believing that if I'm consistent with this, I will be done with it in no time. So I'm not going to get discouraged by that. This is my higher student loan, but my other student loan, which I normally put on my monthly budget, that was already paid. And because this is just a paycheck breakdown, I'm only focusing on my bills that are going to be due this paycheck. Alrighty, let's move on to sinking funds. Okay, so for my sinking funds, I have a couple things that I'm planning for. And I talked about this in my last vlog, but I really just want to make sure I'm accounting for them so that the money just doesn't creep up on me and I am looking lost in the sauce. Hold on one second, guys. Let me circle this. Haha, there we go. Alrighty, so I have an upcoming baby shower trip that I'm taking. So that's $58.99, which needs to be cash stuffed into my envelopes, and that will actually complete my goal of $201.99 that I accounted for the baby shower trip. Moving on to my cousin's wedding trip, I'm putting $30 towards that sinking fund. So I'll have a total of $310 in that sinking fund. Moving to Vegas, I want to go to Vegas this summer, so I'm putting $50 towards that, which will leave me with will put me at $100 in that envelope. I'm going to Dreamville, which I'm so excited about. So I have $50 more towards my ticket. So that will be a total, that $50 will put me at $180 for the ticket, and this will almost have me at my goal. I'm super excited because my stay is free. I just have to get there, which is great. And then obviously the ticket, my goal is to actually go ahead and complete this festival sinking fund by the end of this month, because I need to order my ticket, because they send out like the wristband thingies like the month before. So I need to make sure that that's all organized and coordinated. So this festival trip, along with my sister's baby shower trip, those are going to be two funds which will be completed. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I will actually, two of my goals will be achieved in my high priority sinking funds. Okay, and then last but not least, there's in my upcoming New York City trip that's coming up. I'm going to budget $200 for that in cash that I'm going to take with me. And so that will be just my total of $200 in cash that I'm taking. I side hustle a little bit to just kind of give myself buffer for this trip that's coming up, because I didn't know if I was going, but now that I know I'm going, I'm saving money for it. So in total, my high priority sinking funds for this paycheck that I'm going to contribute are $388.99. So I'm going to circle that. Bow, and we'll be good to go. No low priority sinking funds, so I did leave that blank here, but I will talk about that on my next paycheck because I know what's forecasting and coming when I looked at my calendar. So that leads us to this next part, which is savings and investments. And you guys, again, forgive the scratch scribbles, but when you are budgeting, sometimes you gotta scratch scribble and make sure that your math is correct, since I'm doing a zero-based budget. So in total, I will have $168.34 going to my savings. That's the little number that you see here. So that means that in my savings, I'll have $1,418.33. And then in my Roth, I'm gonna contribute $8.59. That'll be auto-drafted into my account. So I will have $407.15 in my Roth. If you guys didn't see my video earlier this year, I have two goals when it comes to saving and investing. I want to save $10,000 this year, and then I want to invest in my Roth IRA. I want to invest half the contribution amount, which is half of $7,000, which is $3,500. So all together, let's do the paycheck breakdown here, and I've got my handy dandy calculator to help me out. So again, for our income, we've got $13, $12, and 38 cents that we're working with. Then we're going to subtract the expenses, which is $327 and 35 cents. We're then going to subtract that student loan that I told you guys was coming out, which is $419 and 11 cents. Then we're going to subtract our sinking funds, which we just briefly talked about. That's $388 and 99 cents. And then we're going to subtract our our savings and investments, which is $176 and 93 cents. As you can see, that leaves me with $0. So this is a zero-based budget for this paycheck breakdown. That makes me very happy because I'm giving every single dollar an assignment. It's so important to get super granular with your money. And this is why budgeting is such a good thing. So I love showing you guys how I do my budget and how I do the paycheck breakdown, because I think for me, I'll speak for me. When I get paid, I get excited because I'm like, oh, that means I could do stuff. But in my discipline that I'm learning with money and in actual financial management, I'm learning that every dollar needs to have an assignment. So I'm very excited to share this paycheck with you guys as we're in the middle of the month. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. If you guys have questions or comments about how you budget, please let me know below. And I look forward to talking to y'all in the next video. Bye.